Welcome back to Aura's Digest. Now, this week, I got reminded of a project that I did so many years back, sort of like a mini project out of just curiosity. At this time, though, this was maybe 10 years ago, I suppose, when there were a lot of the initial stage of fashion bloggers, female fashion bloggers in Kenya. Then I just thought about, let me just pick the data for all these famous vloggers and see if there's anything interesting in them. So first of all, I created a list of that time, the most prominent female vloggers. So I remember I took Joy Kendi, Nancy Mwai, This Is S, I think it was Winnie the Fashionista, Maureen Bandari, Lucy Musau, I believe, them. Then I wrote a little program to go and collect the YouTube stats, so that every day it would go and collect the number of likes, the number of dislikes, the title of the video, the description, and all that metadata that's great for analysis. And the next thing I did was, okay, I'm going to create some little features, which means I'm just going to mess around with the data and come up with attributes or variables that would be interesting from an analysis perspective. The next thing that I did was to do a correlation analysis, just to see are there things that correlate within this subset of data that I have. So now, these are the results. What you have here is what you call a correlation matrix, comparing one variable versus the other if they actually correlate. Now, if it's blue or deep blue, it means that's a high positive correlation. If it's deep brown, that is a negative correlation. So forget this diagonal. That's just something correlating to itself, which doesn't make sense. Likes and will always correlate to itself. And then there is now other correlations which you expect, like the number of likes and the number of dislikes. So as the number of likes goes up, the number of dislikes also goes up. Plus a couple of other mundane things. So I started inspecting these different correlations until one caught my attention. So I created a variable called year, which just means how long a video has been up, or the time between the vlogger setting up the blog and the publication of the video. So if you set up in 2020 and you published a video this year, so that's 1 year. Oh no, 3 years actually. Yeah. So, and then I created another variable, which is called language confidence, which simply was checking how many words within your title or in a sentence are in English. So if you have 100 words in a title and all of them are in perfect English, then confidence is 100%. So if you have that and 20 of them out of the 100 are Kiswahili, Hindu, Sheng, or any other non-standard English language, then it gets at 80%. So now I'm getting a very strong, mildly strong negative correlation between the year or the years of this variable called year and the language confidence. So the next thing I decided, like, okay, let me now go and do some inspection of these titles to figure out why there's this pattern that there is. Now, started realizing the first thing is example like road trip to Masai Mara. Now, because Masai Mara is not an English word, then it's not an English word yet. There's that language confidence is very low. And then if you're reviewing, let's say, a beauty product, which is, the name is a brand name and it's not an English word, then that introduces that. So I started off with one, say Nancy Mwai, then went to This Is S. I went to, I think Joy Kendi. And then I'm like, hold on, there's a pattern here, right? There was a pattern of how all these videos come up. So a vlogger starts off with, introducing themselves, staying with my friend.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I've got Dr. Karen with me again. Hi. Which means we're talking serious stuff.
Guys, welcome back to my channel. I am here with the beautiful Adele. She is the voice behind radio stuff.
So obviously we're going to do makeup today and we're going to share some story times.
Talk about normal things that women talk about in their daily lives, and then at some point traveling starts.
Hey guys, how you doing? So I'm going on a little trip. We are going to Diani. I'm going with my friend Joki. So this is a travel vlog.
It is 7:30. We've been up and about for an hour trying to not hunt, but look out for the big.
Good morning, guys. So it's Thursday. The reason I was doing my hair yesterday is because we're heading to Malindi today. Fun. So another travel adventure.
So traveling to Masai Mara, flight to Diani, and then that's where the language confidence gets, a little bit, less. And then at some point, they now start reviewing beauty products and all kind of things. So then I was introducing a lot of non-standard English words. And I was like, hold on. When I looked at this is S, Nancy Moy, Joy Candy, then I was like, there's a pattern here. This is the formula of how to become a female vlogger. Start your vlog about talking about people and life and general things, do a little bit of travel, and then, get beauty products review, and that's how you make your money. And then I wrote about this, which I found interesting. I even went further to look at the templates that were used setting up the websites, and they all looked the same. I was like, whoa, okay. So it's okay and normal in any society that if one person creates a formula that works, then other people will just copy it. Yeah. Business, sometimes you don't have to invent. You just copy and make the implementation sometimes slightly better than all these other people. Then I was like, okay, that was 10 years ago, I believe so. Maybe a little less. Yeah. Then also now I'm looking through my data sets that, I'm just trying to find something to play around with. Then I found this data set that I had collected many years back. Then I asked myself, by the way, how are they doing right now? Because at that point, I thought there was too much imitation within that particular female vlogging world. And now all these years, now Instagram is big, TikTok is big, plus other very specific channels, and hosting is cheaper. And now we have more people doing that. So I'll ask myself, are they successful? What happened to them? So when I was clicking the links to all this, I'm like, whoa, hold on. The first one I checked was Kangai Mwiti. And if you don't know her, I think she was the first original influencer in Kenya. This is 2016, perhaps 2015, thereabout. And she was on makeups and, selling makeups through her, not selling, I think promoting makeups.
Professionally, I'm a makeup artist. I also run Bayesa Africa, which is my YouTube channel. One of the things I realized a long time ago is that there isn't enough content on YouTube, beauty-wise, for women of color. And the content that I provide or I produce is of course on YouTube, but it's also changing so many people's lives.
Now her YouTube channel, guess what? Look at this. No videos. It's been wiped clean. She no longer existed on that. I'm like, okay, it's odd. Then I checked Nancy Moy. Same thing. No videos. Wiped clean. I was like, whoa, hold on. Something is here. Then I checked Joy Candy. Then I'm like, okay, she's not wiped up all her videos from YouTube. But the last time she posted, I think is like a year back. Which technically, if think in the product world, she has churned. If you say you've not used the service for more than 3 months, you've churned. And in most online businesses, they define churn by between 30 and 90 days, right? Even if you don't use your bank account for 90 days, you're churned. And I was like, okay, now who's next? Then I went to Maureen Bandari. Her YouTube channel, I think so many years back, the last time that it was ever uploaded on a video. The only person in my list that still does the vlogging was This Is S. And just looking at her, she's also really changed her brand, I suppose, to be more like talking about motherhood and trying to create an environment where other things are built on top of that. Then I was like, okay, this sounds quite terrible. It means that perhaps vlogging is not a long-time career, especially for women in this case. So went back to the data thing. I'm like, okay, now let's do something a little bit more scientific. So created now a much more longer list. For that, I'll try to make the argument. Does fashion blogging have a very short life time, at least on YouTube, for that? I'm like, okay, for me to qualify that, I need to introduce travel bloggers, food vloggers, and a couple of other categories of vlogging that are there. I think right now we can just call them content creators. Then I'll do something very interesting. There is, there's something in life insurance known as a survival chart. How much they decide to charge you as a premium, they look at you and say, okay, when you were born, let's say 1990, there's 100 of you. After 1 year, how many of you die? After 2 years, how many of you die? And then after 50 years, after 60 years, and then they get an average of a person born in 1990, how long are they likely to live? So that if I'm giving you a life insurance at your 40s and your average lifespan is 50, I know you only have 10 years to pay me back the premium before I have to pay you back the insurance payout. Using that same analogy, like, okay, let's take all these vloggers. You started off in 2010, 2013, 2015, 2016, put them all up and you have your category, and then build this nice survival chart and look at, amongst this group, is there a group that is more at risk? I would say so. And scientific word is called hazardous ratio, which means perhaps a lifestyle blogger is twice likely to have his vlog go down than a food vlogger, for example. So trying to calculate that hazardous ratio, as you call it, and that's how you determine if one type of person has a higher risk factor than another person in the medical world. And guess what? Voila! I was quite astonished. Fashion vloggers go out of business just the same way food vloggers and any other type of category that you're likely to have. The only exception are travel vloggers. Actually, food, not travel. Travel, I tend to think about it because it attracts very few people and it's more of like a lifestyle thing more than something you do for money. So, the few that I had listed in my data set are still operating, even 10 years into it. So then you ask yourself, what is the average survival rate? First of all, for any vlogger, the ones I sampled. Guess what? 6 years. So by 6 years, most people will fold up their vlog. So if 6 years is for the entire YouTube population, what is it for a fashion vlogger? I did the math, 6 years also. So there's no difference, just the same way. Now that means that this YouTube channel, Oro's Digest, is likely to last for 6 years. So today we are 2023 plus 6 years, that is 2031. So by 2031, oh sorry, 2029. I've been corrected by the director. This channel will be done by 2029. If you surpass 6 years, it means that now there must be something extra or there must be something fulfilling than that. And I was getting fooled because this is, Warrior Fight was availability bias. These are the vloggers who are available to me, and I looked at them and they tend to be the ones who are on the prominent mind. I know, like Nancy Moy had a thing about her fashion business, a real fashion business not working out, and she giving up on that. I thought that women getting into motherhood would kill their YouTube vlogs, right? Could be true, because there's this vlog, I'm trying to remember. Oh, it lasted 6 years. Okay, we'll put it here. Yeah. It started off like just after university with 4 girls having fun, and now they did it for 6 years. And they didn't give the reason for closing their channel, but they're like, we have grown and we're doing our own things for that. That means I have 6 years to make money out of this thing. We'll make it or not. Do you think we'll make it? Comment, subscribe, and like. Till next time, cheers. Any Buddha. After kuachiva always subscribe hapa bado je subscribe, hey, and I have more videos here.